Welcome to the Ballroom Dance Channel. We are a worldwide community of ballroom dancers who meet here every day to chat all things ballroom dance. Today's topic. These are the top 4 most uncomfortable things students have ever said to me. Number 1, I'm teaching a kids class. These are 5 to 7-year-olds. Kids constantly come up completely riled up at a dance class. And they're not going to pay attention until they get whatever off their chest. I got a new puppy, whatever. So I always start the class by going around the room and they can say the most exciting part of their day or week. So going around the room and Miss Ken says, yeah, the rash finally went away on my daddy's butt. I am not kidding you. And I'm like, oh, well, isn't that nice how Jesus heals our bodies next? And every single time I saw this poor kid's parents afterwards, I'm like, oh, sure hope that rash on your butt's still gone. Oh my gosh, guys, you can't make this stuff up. Okay, number 2. So this guy comes into my office, another true story. And I would say long-term social dance student at my studio. So came to the ballroom dances, took with other teachers. Maybe he occasionally took my classes. At that time, I was teaching like gangbusters, so I couldn't even recognize half the people in my group. So I don't know, but he came into my office and sat down next to my desk and he just starts talking about his personal life and getting very in-depth about his divorce and my wife doesn't appreciate blah, 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 blah. Guys, I don't think I've ever had a personal conversation with this guy in my life, possibly never even a conversation. And at the end, he asks me out. Oh my goodness gracious. This would be like your friend coming on to you, even though he's not my friend. Like still, okay, now the relationship is permanently tainted. I'm going to feel awkward every time for the rest of my life if I see this person. You know what, guys? When I see my students, I'm not thinking, how do I get in their pants? How do I get them to ask me out? It's almost like you would see your doctor, okay? We have a professional relationship where I'm touching your body, where I'm looking at your eyes, where we're having maybe conversations about intimate parts of your body. You know, what are you going to do after your proctology appointment? Go in and ask him for a date? No, don't do it. Are there some creepers out there? Yes, but odds are more likely they're going to be creeped out by someone coming in and asking him out. At best, if you really cannot get over this pro that you're crushing on, for Pete's sake, stop taking lessons with them. Stop taking lessons in their studio. Give it some time to cool off, come back months later, and then ask them out. That at least would go over better because I know I'm not going to see this person again if I'm like, no, thank you. Okay, so final awkward situation. And this has happened a number of times to me, and I dislike it. It's so awkward, and I think about it every time I see them from then on. Sometimes students come to me and they say they want to take lessons from a teacher who I know is not a good idea. Say that teacher might have some sort of bad background in terms of history with past students, whether that be underage students or financial usury or verbal abuse. I've seen it all. Or just as common, they're just not a good teacher. And I know that teacher promotes himself as being an amazing teacher, but I also know, okay, well, I've seen this person teach for 25 years. They never once produced a really good student. That indicates to me that this is not a good investment for your time. But do I say something? Now I feel dirty if I say, well, you shouldn't do that. I don't want to look catty. In my case, I just keep my mouth shut. The only exception is maybe 2 times ever I've explained to the person, well, this is what I've seen in the past and why I personally don't think that's a good idea. But I'm always like, hey, you're welcome to do what you want to do. My coaches did that for me, and I really appreciate it. They didn't have this throttle on my ballroom dance decisions, but they always gave me good advice. And truth be told, the times that I didn't listen to them when they said, don't take with that coach, crash and burn, huge mistake on my part. But sometimes people just need to make that mistake themselves to learn it. And just depending on the circumstances, they tend to eventually make their way out of that situation on their own and hopefully look back on my advice and like, I guess she wasn't trying to just keep me for herself or something, that I'm actually looking out for him. And also, guys, I know I've said this before, if your pro says bad things about every single pro ever that you have in your town, visiting coaches, regular coaches, that's kind of a bad sign to me. It's really relatively few that don't have something to offer you or have something bad to offer you. So I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning for some more things ballroom dance. And if you have a rash on your keister, for Pete's sake, don't tell your kids about it if they're in dance classes. Okay, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, guys. Have an awesome, happy dancing day. Doodles!